What's up, Amplified Unit? This is an impromptu video, obviously. Just getting out of an early morning gym session here at the university. Always good to see a lot of people showed up, a lot of people getting amplified to kick off the day. I love seeing that. Don't worry. I know there's some holes up in the hoodie. There's another one up here as well. That's my old school workout hoodie. This is an old Yankees hoodie I've had for years. You know, when this bad boy's on, we about to get physical. We about to kick some ass. I did want to let you guys know there won't be a podcast this Sunday. All apologies. There will not be a podcast this Sunday. I'm going to be out of state. I'm actually leaving the second I'm done recording this video. We're going to pack and we're on our way to New England for the entire weekend. So I won't be back with you guys till Monday, probably Tuesday morning for the Raw review and reaction. So that's the deal, guys. So I at least wanted to pump out one more video to you guys. In today's topic, WrestleMania, because as I was thinking about it, here I am, I'm pumping Iron Man, I'm clanging and banging this morning, and it dawned on me, damn, WrestleMania, the card, somehow, is actually shaping up to be, dare I say, interesting? I mean, there's a lot of gaps still. There's still matches that are going to befuddle us. But there's some matches that I'm actually intrigued with, and I'm talking about when this is said and done, probably half the card at least, I'm going to be intrigued about. I'll get to that in a second. I first want to say, well, normally, any normal person would say I apologize for pissing so many people off this week, for offending people, but you guys know I don't work that way. So no, I don't apologize. And what am I talking about? You guys know what I'm talking about. If you've been watching every video this week, I've been pissing off big groups of people. I first hit hard all the people that thought that Roman Reigns was faking or embellishing his diagnosis. And I hit hard on those people. And I didn't hold back any punches. I told those people who thought that Roman Reigns was faking this and that this was all just a story, or they tried to make it bigger than it was, as if something, no matter how small it is, could ever be such. No matter how small, something of that severity is really big. So there's no way you embellish something like that. But I hit that group really hard. And then in that same video, I hit the people that thought Tori Wilson didn't belong in the Hall of Fame. I hit them with a lot of facts, and I didn't pull back any punches with them either. And then I went into, where did I go into? Well, I know that in my last video, the SmackDown review and reaction, I came right out and said that show, aside from the 3 promos, Shane McMahon's promo, AJ Styles and Randy Orton's face-to-face promo, and Kofi Kingston and Vince McMahon's face-to-face promo, aside from that, the hour and a half plus of wrestling totally sucked. Multiple tag matches. One of them was an 8-man tag match. You only had one one-on-one match. That was the females, Asuka versus Mandy Rose, and that was a 3-minute match. Oh, I'm sorry. Sonya Deville and Asuka, 3-minute match. Heading toward WrestleMania, these bullshit matches, these redundant, nonsensical matches are not going to cut it for fans like myself. And I know a lot of people were praising that SmackDown this week when it went off the air in the next morning. And then my video came out, and I made a stir. And then Monday, before that SmackDown video, I also pissed off another group, all the people that love all of these smaller guys. And I'm throwing no shade at the smaller guys, no hate whatsoever. But I will say this. If you keep bringing these smaller guys with no larger-than-life personality, no larger-than-life character, what is pro wrestling, what is the WWE really gonna be? It's just gonna be one big indie promotion. If you just keep on bringing in the Ricochets, the Mustafa Alis, the Buddy Murphys, hell, bring Cedric Alexander in, where does it end? These guys are, okay, great wrestlers to today's standards, right? The high-flying, pillar-to-post, no real selling, fast-paced, and that's all they know. That's great, But where's the personality? Where's the charisma? Where's that larger-than-life aspect to these people? There isn't none. I've heard Mustafa Ali's promos. They're not terrible, but they're not jumping off the screen. Ricochet's not jumping off the screen. Buddy Murphy's not jumping off the screen. Cedric Alexander's not jumping off the screen. None of them. So what do you guys do? Do you turn the main roster into just another 205 Live? We saw that that is not a success because people will turn away. When you have a whole program with a bunch of these smaller dudes with no personality, you're gonna get people turning away because what are we watching? If that's the case, you and a bunch of your buddies can just go in the backyard and recreate the shit, right? Just do a moonsault off your roof or some shit with a bunch of your buddies that are equally, like you probably, 5'8". Nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being shorter. But when we're watching something like pro wrestling, man, we're supposed to be watching larger-than-life characters. That doesn't necessarily mean they have to be 7 feet tall, fucking 500 pounds, right? But at least have larger than... Like Shawn Michaels, he was never the biggest guy. But his personality and his character jumped off the screen. He was oozing that charisma. And so he stood toe-to-toe with those big guys. Kevin Nash said it best once. Kevin Nash said, Shawn Michaels was never big like the rest of us, but the way he walked around, you thought he was 7 feet tall with you. and fans perceive Shawn Michaels as such. And that's what I mean. If you want the Mustafas, if you want the Ricochets and such, I'm cool with that. Please, just bring us in superstars that are going to jump off the screen. I can't say Mustafa does that, man. I'm a fan of Ricochet. You guys know that, by the way. He does things that I've never seen before. But how far can that take us? Does that mean you put a World Heavyweight Championship on him? And he's supposed to carry storylines and feuds? I don't know, guys. This isn't NXT. Remains to be seen. I'm just throwing out questions. And in the process, I pissed off a huge fan base, obviously. Those indie diehards who love those 5'8", 5'9", 5'10" dudes. I pissed them off. The Torrie Wilson haters, the Roman Reigns haters, the people that thought SmackDown was brilliant this week. Man, I was just pissing people off left and right. And you guys know, I say it all the time. It's not just a catchphrase. I love being the bad guy. I love being the boogeyman. I love poking at people. And so it was a great week for me. So no, I don't apologize. And anybody that wanted to cry those tears and did cry tears this week, that's tough shit. It's not going to change. I'm going to hit twice as hard in the next video, in the next video, in the next video, because ego aside, whether you like it or not, whether you think this is really egotistical, I know that I have a great mind for this business. There's just individuals in this world that have a great mind for the business. Paul Heyman, Jim Cornette, just to name a few. Even though we don't like him now, Vince McMahon was a genius when this thing got started. And BC, Amplified, is just one of those guys, whether you like it or not. I just am. You know, I have that great mind for the business. I knew that from early on, man. When I was like 7 years old, I knew I was watching pro wrestling different than everyone else. I was picking up details, and I had an internal focus that was different than everyone else. All my other friends that were watching it, you know. I was always interested in the backstage, behind-the-scenes aspects, even before the internet was a thing, and trying to get the scoop, and writing programs before the internet was big, you know, like I would be writing out the full WrestleMania card, how I would book it. So, you know, that's just one of those things, guys, that, you know, you may not like what you're hearing. I may be insulting your favorite superstar. I may have a different thought process of a show than you may have had it, but that doesn't mean you gotta cry and bitch. If you were subscribed and you unsubscribe because you're so upset, then you're the type of person I don't want/need on this channel. I need strong Amplified Unit members, man. If I ever need to call on everybody, all my Amplified Unit, to march down to Stamford, Connecticut, because we need to create some change, we're going to wrap ourselves around Stamford, Connecticut, WWE headquarters, I need to know that I can rely on people. If people are getting this upset because I hurt their feelings or offended them or their favorite superstar, I made them cry because a show was good, they thought, and I said it wasn't, and I give you actual facts, then, you know, you gotta be stronger, man. Or the Amplified Unit is definitely not the unit for you. You need to go to another YouTuber. Trust me, guys, there's 100+ YouTube channels out there of people that will sit in front of a camera and praise Pro Wrestling WWE, more importantly. They will praise it. They won't speak a lot of negative, or if they do, it's only a few things, but then they'll get right back to the positive. They have their own narratives, agendas. There's plenty of channels like that. This one is always going to be the most realist, because it's all I know how to give you guys. So I really want you guys to understand where I'm coming from, you know? Even though I am the bad guy, the boogeyman, I like to poke at people and fuck with people. There's a method to my madness. When I do talk pro wrestling, it isn't just to upset people and make them cry, but I'm going to give you facts and truth. And if you do get upset and cry in the process, that's a good thing, because we need to see how tough you are as an individual. Mentally, psychologically, physically, whatever the fuck, I need the toughest motherfuckers. Bottom line. And if you cry over facts of pro wrestling, because again, these are facts, guys. A lot of this channel is facts. It's cute and cuddly when people go, BC, I respect that, but I have a different opinion. Yes, I do give opinion and different thoughts on this channel a lot, but a lot of what I tell you guys is facts, because I actually go down in detail, whatever the topic is, and I do my research, and I tell you guys legit facts, and then we come to a conclusion together. And then there's always a few, it amazes me that people can listen to every word and still write down in the comments, I hear you, BC, but... And why open dialogue can be a good thing and different opinions, and that's great. You know, when I give facts and people still want to argue with that, it's like if I tell you the sky is blue, and it's pretty damn blue, and you look up at it, and then you look at me and you say, actually, it's green, BC. That's my opinion. It's like, no, it's actually blue. It's really, like, the color blue is a real thing, and that motherfucker is such. You know what I mean? So when I'm going over that SmackDown show this week, and I'm talking about how it's, how aside from 3 promos, the show sucked for 3.5 weeks away from WrestleMania, and there was people going, BC, what are you talking about? It was amazing, man. It was great. And I said, you take those promos that, again, equaled less than 20 minutes. What was great about it? Several tag team matches? The 8-man tag team schmaz match with 3 commercial breaks? Was that exciting to you? Or was it that tremendous, intriguing, entertaining main event with Kevin Owens and Mustafa versus Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan? Or was it Samoa Joe and Andrade Cien Almas taking on Rey Mysterio and R-Truth? Did that just captivate you? Have you never seen anything like that in your life? Oh wait, we've been seeing those same 4 individuals for weeks now on SmackDown. So, if you think about it, guys, the Amplified Man, it was 100% correct. You take that Shane McMahon promo out, you take that face-to-face between AJ Styles and Randy Orton out, and you take the Kofi Kingston Vince McMahon promo out. Those 3 promos, if you're telling me that 3 promos that lasted 20 minutes collectively made the show great and amazing, you're bullshitting yourself, man. And you really gotta look in the mirror and think to yourself, where is the stupidity coming from? Is it from the Amplified Man, or is it from yourself? Just saying. I mean, that's the truth. And the truth hurts sometimes. So, that's that, guys. Again, this is kind of like my podcast this week, even though there's not going to be an official one this weekend, this Sunday. This is why I'm kind of talking about anything I want right now. And we just got out of the gym, so again, we're a little more amplified and, you know, having some fun talking with you guys right now, man. Not bad, too, actually. Not too cold. It's still winter, technically. Spring isn't for another few days, but it's actually decent, man. I got my old beat-up gym hoodie, my Yankee hoodie right here. And that's all I'm wearing right now. We're outside, obviously, at the university, and it's actually all right. I would say 39, 40 degrees, maybe? Maybe 35, 30. I don't know, man. It's all right. But let's talk about what the video is about, man. WrestleMania. It creeped up on the Amplified Man. I really, if you look at the storylines and feuds and how tragic they've been, how criminal, you would think to yourself, this WrestleMania could be one of the worst of all time when it's actually played out. And instead, guys, opposite. I honestly think when the full card is announced, half of it at least is going to be pretty damn interesting and, to yours truly, intriguing. If you think about some of these matches, any one of them could be the actual last match main event. Batista and Triple H for an exhibition no-holds-barred match. I'm looking forward to that, man. This is obviously, most likely anyway, Batista's last run. And him and Triple H, the way their feud is already kicking off, with a few more weeks left, something more bigger and more badass is going to happen between those two before WrestleMania. So I'm looking forward to that, man. Again, it's an exhibition match, so we can't lose. And then you throw on Seth Rollins and Brock Lesnar. For a guy, a champion like Brock, who never shows up to work, and Seth Rollins really has nothing to work with storyline-wise, except for going back and forth with Paul Heyman. In a weird way, somehow, some way, I'm looking forward to that match. Seth Rollins and Brock Lesnar, I'm kind of digging that. I'm kind of intrigued by that. With a few more weeks left, and again, this Monday in Chicago, Brock Lesnar is supposed to show up. Maybe they can do something to pique my curiosity, pique my interest even more. But I'm looking forward to Seth Rollins and Brock Lesnar. So that's 2 matches. I'll give you a third, man. Something that's not officially announced yet, but we're thinking it's going to be soon. Kofi Kingston versus Daniel Bryan for the WWE Heavyweight Championship. I hope they don't make this like a fatal 4-way schmaz with Kevin Owens and Mustafa Ali, because we don't need it. On top of that, they wouldn't have earned it. Owens and Mustafa both got handed a title opportunity at Fastlane, and they lost. So that's a couple of strikes right off the bat. No way in a couple of weeks would they get another title opportunity. So this should just be Kofi, Daniel Bryan. And you better believe that piques my interest, because I'm a part of Kofi Mania right now. I am fully on this bandwagon. If not Kofi, who else would it have been, guys? Who else would have taken the strap from Daniel Bryan? I think it's going to be an epic moment when Kofi, who has been doing this for 11 years, it never really took a lot of time off ever. The guy, I don't want to jinx it, but rarely gets injured. He's always competing at the top of his game. Night in and night out. If not Kofi, then who? And on top of that, the storyline has been told beautifully from day one. From that gauntlet match a couple months ago, through the Royal Rumble, or was the gauntlet match, well, vice versa, whichever one, through Elimination Chamber, through, I think it was after the Royal Rumble, right? Because that led into the Elimination Chamber, and then they put on an epic 20-minute, it was almost like a separate match in the Elimination Chamber with Kofi and Daniel Bryan, and that was just a glimpse into what they can do together one-on-one. And then you went on to Fastlane, where Kofi got screwed out of that opportunity, and now Vince McMahon is really putting it to him this coming up week on SmackDown Tuesday night. Kofi has to go through a gauntlet match with Cesaro, Sheamus, Samoa Joe, Eric Rowan, Randy Orton, all the heels. And then we still got a couple more weeks left for Vince McMahon to kind of, or try to screw Kofi out of this opportunity. So, on top of the match itself, in the moment that it's going to be, should Kofi defeat Daniel Bryan, the story is also being told beautifully. So, what is that? That's 3 matches in a row, guys. Seth Rollins, Brock Lesnar, Batista, Triple H, Kofi Kingston, Daniel Bryan. And I'll give you a 4th one. This is like a dark horse, maybe a sleeper match to a lot. But Shane McMahon and The Miz, if they keep telling the story the way they are, because this story has been beautiful since Royal Rumble. And if they keep telling that story, then this is an exhibition kind of one-on-one match that kind of has intrigue to it, you know? The co-besties, the co-best in the worlds. Let's decide once and for all, out of the 2, who is the better man. You know, if you're going to give me an exhibition match, I'm down with that. I dig The Miz, and you guys know I'm a huge Shane McMahon fan. So, 4 matches out of the gate. And if they give me, I'll give you some matches that are not announced yet, but we think are going to happen. If you give me the Usos and the Hardy Boys, the Usos who are at the top of their game right now, not just in the ring, but on the microphone, their promos. And this past Tuesday, I didn't even cover this in the review for SmackDown. They kind of called out the Hardy Boys. So, the Usos are at the top of their game. The Hardy Boys, you know, have one last good run in them, and they're going to make it count. You put those 2 teams at WrestleMania, take my money. What is that? 5 matches now, man? And then you have Becky Lynch, Charlotte, Ronda Rousey. I do wish it was just Becky, Ronda. Let's just see once and for all who is gonna get the better out of the two, who's gonna be the best for that night and going forward, who's gonna get the bragging rights. Because this started at Survivor Series, and by throwing Charlotte in there, we're not gonna really have a payoff one-on-one. We're not really gonna know who's better out of Becky and Ronda because Charlotte's in on this. So we're never going to know one-on-one. And wasn't that what all of this was about from Survivor Series? So I hate the fact that Charlotte is in this. No shade to Charlotte, guys. You guys know I always praise Charlotte Flair. I'm always calling her one of the best, most athletic pro wrestlers today, male or female. But throwing her in that match, it dilutes it. It dilutes it big time. But I am intrigued to finally just see what WWE has planned in the end. I don't even think they have it planned yet. But you made such a big deal out of this. This looks like it's going to be the final match main event. There's no mulligans. They're going to have to bring it. So anybody who says, even if you hate the storyline thus far, which I do, and I knew it was going to be lackluster, there is a little bit of intrigue there just to see what the final payoff is going to be. When the match is over, where is Vince actually going to go with this? You would have to think that Rousey is going to take some time off, obviously. So I don't see her winning this. You have to think Charlotte Flair is there to take the fall. You have to think there's no other way for this to go but Becky Lynch walking out with the strap. But you never know with Vince McMahon. Another kind of exhibition one-on-one match. Nothing major implication-wise, but a pretty damn good match if they keep up the storytelling. Because I like the way it started off Monday. Drew McIntyre versus Roman Reigns. I think these are two guys that are evenly matched up with one another. And if Roman Reigns can go 100%, because we know Drew's going to bring it 100%, I like on paper Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre. And again, they started that story off pretty damn good on Monday with Drew McIntyre taking Roman Reigns out of commission. So if they keep that going, I'm down with that. So I just named at least 6 matches, guys, that can absolutely pique my curiosity and interest. Kind of already have for WrestleMania. And when you add on top of that, there's other titles that are obviously going to be thrown around. Samoa Joe's probably going to defend his United States strap. A lot of people are throwing around John Cena. Do they really rush John Cena with 3 weeks to go for this match? Or does Samoa Joe just issue like an open challenge and John Cena accepts at WrestleMania? Possible. But first, Samoa Joe has to stop playing around with Rey Mysterio. And by the way, was Rey Mysterio wearing a thong this past Tuesday on SmackDown? I'm playing, but what was that, Rey Mysterio? Come on, man, that looked like a thong. You got to think the Cruiserweight Championship will also be on the line. Buddy Murphy will probably defend that. That's probably where he's going to lose it, but that's to be determined. Asuka's the SmackDown Women's Champion, and she doesn't even have an opponent. I'll tell you what it looks like, guys. It looks like it's going to be a triple threat for that title as well, just like the Raw Championship. It honestly looks like, guys, they're going to do Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville versus Asuka in a 3-way. Triple threat. That's why you're seeing the dissension between Mandy Rose and Sonya. So when they call out a triple threat, you're going to think, see, Sonya does have something to prove to Mandy, and Sonya is going to want to take out Mandy too, and vice versa. When in reality, it's just a glorified handicap match to me, because you know in that match, Sonya and Mandy Rose will team up to try to take out Asuka. I don't see any one of them taking the title, but knowing Vince, he does love his blondes. You might see Mandy Rose walk out of WrestleMania with that strap. Guys, if they do go with that triple threat, this isn't throwing shade to Sonya or Mandy, but it extremely frustrates me that somebody like Naomi has not gotten the time of day in several months in this company. No storyline, no nothing. And you're going to keep her from what would have been an awesome WrestleMania exhibition match. Not just exhibition either, with a championship on the line. Even if she's going to lose the match. Asuka versus Naomi. That is a take my money on a full card. You're telling me that wouldn't be a Dynamite wrestling match? But instead, we gotta play around with mediocrity. Again, that's no shade through Sonya and Mandy, but that's a mediocre match. That is a lackluster match for something as epic as WrestleMania, and you guys know I'm telling the truth. So why not Naomi? You know, and you could throw other names in there too, but it just boggles my mind that Naomi wouldn't get that spot when it's clear you have nothing for anyone else. So now you're going to play around with Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, and they're going to get a championship opportunity at WrestleMania? Come on, dog. Not playing around with that. So, I mean that's not set in stone, guys, that match. I'm just saying it looks like that's where they're going, doesn't it? What else? Raw Tag Team Championships. I'm sure that's going to be a fatal 22 match. Fatal 22 way. What's that? 11 tag teams will be in that match. They're probably going to throw in, from the local bingo hall down the street, they're going to throw in Billy Buttfuck McGee and Danny Dipshit Dugenheimer. They're a fierce tag team when they're together. But I don't know, man. There's still several weeks left for WrestleMania, and at least half the card right now is piquing my interest. What about you guys? Let me know, guys. I have a lot of traveling to do this weekend, so I'm definitely going to be reading your guys' comments in all of the coffee shops that I'm in, all those long 20-minute lines. I'll be reading your comments, man, and interested to see where you guys are at so far for WrestleMania. We're going to revisit this, obviously, in the coming weeks as the card actually does fill out. But right now, you could be looking at 13 matches at least for WrestleMania. You got to think 2 or 3 are going to be on the kickoff. And then you're going to have a stacked 10 matches, because I don't think we're going to get another 6-hour WrestleMania. You know what I mean? I think the start time is 7 o'clock still, isn't it? I think they're starting this thing at 7, maybe 6. I got to look into that, but I don't think this one's going to go too long. They're going to try to stuff a lot into this motherfucker. But, yeah. I'm going to shut the fuck up now about it. I just want to talk a little bit of WrestleMania, because, again, I was just clanging and banging this morning, and it just dawned on me, like, I don't know how this happened, but slowly and surely it kind of crept in that this WrestleMania is shaping out to be kind of good. You know, you got your bullshit and a lot of it, but there's some matches, man, they have the capability to be something special. I just hope Vince and company give it the time of day, give it the care, nurture these storylines going forward, nurture the actual matches at Mania, and this could be dynamite, man. This could go from something we thought a long time ago could have been one of the worst WrestleManias we've ever seen. This could end up being one of the best, dare I say. I'm not saying that yet. I'm just saying it has the capability of it. We shall see. All right, guys, I got to go pack, get ready to head up north for the weekend. Nothing but love and respect to all you guys. Honestly, I mean that, man. You guys are the best. And it's because of you guys you make this so much fun for me to do, and I'm glad that you guys enjoy these videos. And even though we can't do a full podcast, I'm glad I could at least send out this video and talk a little bit of pro wrestling with you guys. Much love and respect. I'm out. I'll see you guys next week. Kick the rest of this week's ass, this weekend's, and Mondays. And I'll see you guys Tuesday morning for the Raw review and reaction. As always, obviously, a lot of you guys are already following me on Twitter anyway, and Instagram. I gotta hit up the gram a little bit more often. But you guys got me on Twitter, so anything I need to tell you guys throughout the week and weekend, obviously, I will relay the message on Twitter, so you guys will always be up to date. Alright, I'm really shutting up now, man. Yes, I got my Wawa. We're good. We got a coffee. This is number 3 already, man. I had 2 by like 6 a.m. Alright, Amplifon, man. Much love, guys. Check you.